Okay, so we're live now. I'll just check with Nate that he can see us. Okay. Yep, there we go. Okay, sweet. I reckon we'll just get into it then.
Okay.
Alrighty, so hello everyone, welcome. We're back for another episode of Talking Futures, and this time we're joined with our very special guests, Gabriela and Marcelo, who are in the one and only Las Vegas. And we're really excited to hear about their journey and their history of employment. Hi, Nate. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to hearing about how you guys got from Mexico to Las Vegas and all of the crazy stories in between. So I think probably what's best is I'll just get you two to introduce yourselves. Just let us know a little bit about where you're from, who you are, and what you're doing right now.
Yo empiezo. Fine. All right. So I'll start, I guess. So let's see. I grew up in Mexico City. I studied industrial engineering. And I definitely don't do anything that deals with industrial engineering today. I'm a software developer nowadays. But how my journey kind of went right after I graduated, salaries in Mexico weren't very good, and I was like, well, let's see if I can find something better out there. Luckily, I have my American citizenship, so I was able to just fly over to Vegas, where my brother was trying to build up his own business. And he said, you know what? Come here and let's try to start a different business together. No, and anything you want. And I'm like, all right, let's do it. Fine. So flew over here and started a little company called Retro Soda. Had that for 3 years, and it was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
But survived it. And then shortly after that, I had to close the business. Was lucky enough to find a job in software development, and then everything else kind of just came through. Yeah. So that's how I got to Vegas, at least. Gabby's story is a little bit more interesting, I guess.
I don't know. Like, I feel very with a very lame story now. Like,
no,
no, please.
I like yours. So tell.
So my name is Gabriela. I was born in Monterrey, Mexico. So it's in the north of Mexico with the border with Texas. I don't know. Like, what else? I was studying industrial design, and then I got sick of just being in Mexico, and I have to wait so long to go like do an internship and like the year abroad. And then like a friend was like, "Oh, be a nanny, like go to Germany." So we got drunk that night, and I created my profile, and I was like, if I get a family in like 3 days, I'm gonna go. And luckily enough, I got a family like that was awesome, and I was like, oh. So I ended up going to Germany. I was an au pair for a while, and then I studied German there to like finish my studies there. But then I met Marcelo, so I moved to Vegas.
And I brought her over with me.
Kind of it.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool. That's just a great lesson in just doing it. Just take the opportunity. Maybe don't get drunk and do it, but like.
Yeah, but it was like Like,
Fleeting
we were
moments can be
hanging
very
out, and
good.
he just came back from Germany. So he came back with like a bunch of like, Jägermeister and like beer and stuff. And I was like, oh, so he's telling me like it's great. I'm like,
New
I'm
things.
not gonna like Germany. Like, it's gonna be like so like, square and like meh. And then
Yeah.
like he just keep telling me like these cool stories, and he was like, make your profile, like it's gonna be awesome. I'm like, okay. So I did. Like I let it
Nice.
go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Whoa, that's crazy, but that's so cool. So were you
I mean,
converted? Do you love Germany now?
Huh?
do you love Germany now?
I do. I was expecting that I
Nice.
will be there for 6 months and be like, oh, I don't like it. But I wanted to
Yeah,
stay
she
there.
fell in love with it. Yeah. Yeah.
How long did you end up staying there for?
Ooh.
I think
I just turned
3 years, no?
what?
I think you were there 3 years.
Yeah, it was like a 3.5 year kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
No,
amazing.
interestingly enough, like it seems that we kind of share that, like we both went to like kind of get started in our careers or in whatever adventures that we get into out of kind of these like fleeting moments where we were like, let's just do this and see what happens. So
That's awesome, and that's like a good lesson for everyone. Like, sometimes it's a very unexpected opportunity that comes your way that sort of forms, a knock-on effect for the rest of your career.
yeah,
That's
good to
really
be
cool.
in
So yeah, that's a really good mentality to have. Definitely a bit of spontaneity. That's awesome. So you did industrial engineering, and I mean, maybe tell us a little bit about industrial engineering and how that compares to software development. So, by my understanding, you sort of developed your software development skills through this company or just on your own? Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess so. Industrial engineering at least in Mexico is more like a business major, right? You get to
Right.
see a little bit of accounting and industrial processes, and some people like to get more into more of the mathematical side. So there's like
Yeah.
probability and statistics models that you apply to uh, business processes, right? And so you do these things called like business process optimization.
I
So
see.
when the way that it kind of relates is when I started my business here in Vegas, I said, you know what, like all these other companies that I had worked for, like all of their systems were terrible. Like all of their processes were supposedly optimized, but nobody could work with them. So I'm like, no, this is not the company that I want for me, right? So I
Yeah,
said, I'm going to build it myself. I'm going to learn how to program and see if I can
that's
just
awesome.
take all of these concepts that I had learned from my career and try to apply them through computer science and programming and these things. And so pretty much like the first, I guess it took like a good 6 or 8 months to really like kind of learn how to program. And I ended up rebuilding the same application like over the course of the 3 years that I had the company.
Yeah.
Like I rebuilt that application like 6 or 7 times. It was just like
Oh my God.
a labor of love, really. Just try and try and
Absolutely.
try and mess up and learn from your mistakes and just keep going, right?
Awesome. That's so cool. So you sort of went the route of like quite self-taught or drawing on things maybe you had learned before, but adding a whole bunch of other new stuff. Did you find that you encountered challenges from within the industry not having the formal qualifications, or was it kind of more respected that you'd done it through, your own sort of project and stuff? Like you just gone straight in and learnt on the job? How was that?
Yeah, so I think that was very interesting. After like obviously while I was programming and learning to program within my own company, I mean, nobody else in my team knew how to do that. Everybody else was like in sales or doing other things. So I was really the only one. So it was kind of all my deal. If I made a mistake, I was the only one that knew about it. But
Right.
after closing the company and then going out into the real world and starting to compare it with other developers that had all of the experience of a computer science background and all these projects that they had done, that's when things got a little bit more daunting, right? So I think it played well for me. It played out well because I was a little bit strategic about my search. So when I started looking for jobs, I didn't start looking for jobs in larger companies. I started looking for jobs in things that were startups, right? Things that were smaller companies, small teams, places where I knew that the dynamics inside of the company were going to be a whole lot more relaxed.
Right.
And so because of that, I knew that maybe they'd also appreciate some of that experience that I had had with that first company that I had tried to build up. So
for sure. I guess that gives you some creative license as well within a smaller company. It's a bit more creative freedom.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, like so in the first company that I was hired at as a developer, it was really nice because I was the only front end developer, and that's kind of usually where they put you when you're just getting started and you have some experience, but you're still kind of a very junior level, right? But it was great because I got to build all of these applications like front end, and then that gave me like a big like thing that I could put in my resume, right? And then after that, it kind of became a whole lot easier to get into these other jobs and get into the places where I actually wanted to be at.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's an awesome thing to take into consideration for our job seekers or for people looking for work. You're often encouraged to sort of, maybe while you're studying, or if you want to enter a certain industry, not through the formal route, you can still, like you were saying, find smaller companies and ask to, do apprenticeships or shadow somebody as they work and just build up your own knowledge through experience. It goes a long way. And like even people wanting to get into the admin realm, doing admin work experience and all of that, it just helps build up your sort of resume and your repertoire of experience, which is cool. I feel like, Gabby, that's a sort of similar thing for you that you encountered, maybe going over to nanny. Had you done any nannying before? And
well, I had a bunch of jobs before.
Yeah.
So I think my first job, I was a hostess for graduations and weddings and that kind of stuff. And then from there, I ended up like making sure that everything was working smoothly. Like everybody was there. They pay, like we have the tables, like everybody's doing like the right stuff. And I did that for like every summer for like a good 4 years. I started when I was 15, so yeah, it was fun. It was interesting, and I mean, I still look very young. So of course, when people like ask for something and I had like some authority, they were like, something is off here, but it was fun. And then afterwards, like I don't know what else I did. I work at a party venue, like a kid birthday party stuff.
Nice.
And then I was a princess for kids shows.
Yes.
It was fun. It was horrible at the same time. Like playing dress up is amazing, but then like the team was horrible. They didn't pay on time. It was just it was bad.
I guess though, like that's cool, just having doing a bunch of different things. I mean, like we all go through that stage of doing that, a bunch of different jobs, and I guess you build up a skill set from that as well. What was it like nannying for the first time, and did you find that those skills that you'd learned from, all of your other various jobs played a good role in nannying and helped you out with that, or was it completely new and stuff?
Oh, Marcelo had me on mute. I'm
Sorry.
like, what?
Sorry, I was a little distracted there. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, I worked with children a lot before, so I kind of like had a feeling, but it was completely different because, of course, my German was like really bad at that point. And then my first family, they were weird, they were nice,
Right.
but I don't know how to explain it. Like, I think I was very young and I was just like, oh, like trying to make excuses and be like, oh, this is the way it is. Like, I'm the nanny or whatever. But then you figure out like, yeah, like they're taking advantage of you. And I decided to be families. So my second family was awesome. I stayed with them for a few years. We're still like in contact and everything.
Cool.
But yeah, the first family was extremely, like, I had to wake up at 6 a.m. and then I go to bed at 9. So it was like the whole day working and cleaning and cooking and doing a bunch of stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. So definitely, if you're an au pair and you go somewhere and you feel afraid because like, you're in a different country and like it doesn't make sense, you should speak up and you should like have like a pleasant experience, because some people are horrible. Like I've heard horrible stories. So
that's good advice, like just to sort of nip it in the bud early and keep that communication open and just
because of course if I told my parents, they will be like, oh my god, you're coming back home like now. So I keep it like a secret for like 6 months until I was like, I can't no more. So yes, you have to speak up.
Good on you for being resilient through that. That must have been quite a tough experience.
Yeah, I feel like that one's like double the toughness, because like if you're like just joining a company, it's there's more things like tools and like bureaucratic processes and things that you can use to like say like, hey, like this person is like messing with me. But as an au pair, like you're living with the person that you're working for, so that completely changes the dynamic.
Like I've heard some horrible stories. Like being honest, I don't think I had it that bad. But
God.
Just for you to have an idea, they took my keys and my driver's license. So I was stuck in the house for a month.
Yeah. I feel like that's almost illegal, honestly.
I know. But then I was like, this is not normal. So then I was like, this is not normal. So I started looking into like the rules of au pairing and like in Germany, because it varies from country to country. So I was like, oh, so actually you figure out like this is not okay. But of course, like
that's a good lesson for everyone out there. So yes, you should be an au pair, like it's really cool, but know the rules, do the research, and make sure that you act quickly.
Feel comfortable, speak up, like you're not alone. Like don't be afraid of like say like I want to change families. I was so afraid and I felt so bad when I was like, oh, like I'm gonna change families, and they made me feel like it was my fault. And being honest, no. Like if you're not happy with your job, you should quit, and you should be strong enough to be like do better things. Being honest.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, for sure. Thank you for sharing that. That's good. That's some good advice, everyone out there. We've got a couple of questions. I also just want to remind everyone, if you have any questions, chuck them in the chat. So we've got one from Nate. There's some people interested in the US type things, like how it all works in America. So I'll put this one up. I can show it. So here's a question that many of us New Zealanders want to know. How does the tip system work in the US? How do you decide how much to tip for services in the US?
I think that varies a lot, because I mean in the US there's people from all over the place. So some people won't tip, and some people will tip really like, big.
They put it in your like in your bill. Now you have to
certain places do. Yeah, certain places do like 18%, 20%, 25%.
They charge you, and there's like tip is included, and you're like, oh.
Sometimes you don't even get a choice. Like, just gonna charge you. Yeah.
But it's really like 15%.
Yeah. Like at least in Mexico, it's always 15%. So as a Mexican, yes, it is.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I don't know, but I'm used to 15%. So coming here to the US, I mean, some people will tip like 20%, but we've always just done 15%.
It's really different to New Zealand.
What's it like in New Zealand?
We don't really have the tip system. I mean, we have like an option to tip in a jar at the front at the counter, but it doesn't really. We don't have the sort of mandatory tipping.
In Germany, like
I mean, I feel like that's kind of nice, but but also as a consumer, but as a waiter, like I've had some friends that started waiting tables while they were going through their career and everything, and they were like super thankful that they were able to get tips because that increased their capabilities, right? A whole
Absolutely. Maybe we should take it on. We've got another US question. Thank you, Shekinah. This is asking, what's one of the best things about living in the US?
You want to answer first?
I don't know. What would you say?
I don't know. You tell me. I mean,
coming from Mexico is like you actually get paid like a decent amount.
Right.
So if you come from like a place like Mexico that they pay you like how much is it?
They pay like
80 pesos per day. So that is like $4 per day.
Yeah.
Like, no. So here that is like I get it. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah, the pay scales are definitely much, much better in the US than in a lot of places. And there's a lot of protection for consumers as well as workers. Like you have the law on your side. There's a lot of things that you can do.
That's crazy. You can complain about whatever.
Yeah.
Not even complaining. It's just like sometimes you're like, oh, like excuse me, like this happened. It's not like I want you to give me anything, and they just go like overboard, and it's like you end up with like a new appliance.
They'll give you just to avoid a lawsuit.
Like I mean,
wow, I see.
I don't know. I feel like for people that live here their whole life it's normal. They just complain and it's like, oh, I'm gonna sue you, but like
that's a little bit much.
Every time I'm like, oh, this thing, I'm like,
oh my gosh,
like what's happening? Like you're
oh my, well, we've got another pay question now. This has sparked some pay interest. So Tui is asking, how does your pay work over there? Do you get a minimum wage like in New Zealand? We have a $20 minimum wage across the board for all jobs. And is this the same in the US, or does your pay vary depending on your job and your position?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely varies depending on what you're doing. I think minimum wage
in Nevada is $15.
Is it? Yeah.
It increase.
Yeah, and so basically,
and Henderson is 13.
Yeah. So so yeah, where we're at, it's like $13. Yeah. But
no, it's 15. We're not in Henderson.
Right. Sorry, but it varies. But yeah, it'll go like between the states it'll vary, and basically I think you can find anywhere between $10 and $20. Like
I see.
It depends on where you're working. Like if it's like a restaurant, I guess you can expect like 12, 13, like, or the minimum wage, right? Like if it's something like that. If you're doing something more like on
tips.
But you get the tips. Yeah, the tips will go up considerably. But yeah, I don't know. It just depends on what you're doing for sure.
But it sounds like employees are treated really well, which is good, and they respond quite quickly to any problems, which is really good to know.
Yeah, I mean, Starbucks, Walmart, like there's a bunch of good places that'll give you
Starbucks is awesome.
Yeah, like they'll give you a lot of perks. That they might not necessarily give you like in Mexico or anywhere else in the world.
I think you guys have like an awesome system and like an awesome minimum wage.
Yeah.
But in Mexico, like
a minimum wage is
like when I think about what I used to make, even when I was like giving classes, I'm like, oh my God, and I was making good money. And then you think about it and you're like, the rest of the people, they're making $4 a day.
Yeah.
And like, how is that okay?
Yeah, I mean, I'll put it this way. I mean, for me, it was very easy for me to make the decision to jump to the US because what I was making back then, I could have doubled up on it just working like at a 7-Eleven or whatever, like entry level things that I could find in the US would beat what I was making before. So that's
massive incentive. Yeah, that's wow. I can totally see why you guys moved to the US. Goodness.
I mean, they say need is the mother of como into imagination and movement and innovation and all these things. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I thought I might ask you guys, I've asked in the past, what does a sort of day in your working life look like? Just for the people out there. Yeah, I guess just tell us what a sort of day in the life looks like for you guys at work.
Well, for me, it's, I guess it's a little uncommon. But the place that I work for right now is 100% remote. It's been 100%
cool.
remote, yeah, since it started. So even before COVID and before all these things, we already had that remote culture. So for me, literally, I wake up and then make my way to my office, and then I open my computer and just get to the races. Now start working, right? And I'll start developing, or have some meetings, talk to people, whatever it is that needs to get done. Yeah, I mean, I'm lucky enough to be able to set my own schedule. So if there's ever like any emergencies or anything that I need to do, I can just disconnect, get what I need to do done, and then come back and finish up.
That's awesome.
And I think a lot of companies are kind of starting to embrace that, especially the smaller companies, because it's just easier for a smaller company to adopt that kind of a culture, because it is a shift in the way that the people work, and it depends also by industry.
Absolutely, and that's super cool that you're able to have that flexibility during this time, because for a lot of people, moving online has sort of become the new normal, and there's all of these, it's forced everybody to have the systems in place for that easy shift quickly, lockdown mode, or New Zealand's just been through a sort of, well, Auckland's still in it, but New Zealand just went through a level 4, and so we all, and people, the feedback was very much like, oh, well, we've done it before, so now all the systems are in place. And so I think it's made people really question, whether their work, maybe like your work, can be done fully online or fully remotely. It's been an interesting time of change. But yeah, what about you, Gabby? Are you remote, or what are you? What is your day in the life
right now?
Fair enough.
Oh my God, I know.
I know. I mean, you work on like art projects.
I mean, I do art projects. I do like some freelance, like design stuff every once in a while. But usually, like right now, I'm almost doing nothing. So I do stuff around the house. I cook. I do stuff but as a work right now.
Yeah. That's all good. I guess we've got a couple more questions from Nate. Okay, let's do. So first of all, he's asking, which is the best casino in Las Vegas, and do you guys gamble?
Oh man, I mean, I guess we gamble occasionally when people come visit.
I'm really bad at it.
No,
is it sort of like
she's actually really good. You have no idea. She started with $20 and got to like
$5.
Started with $5 and got to like 200 in one sitting.
Wow,
it was awesome. And then like the person next to me, they were like, yeah, let's go to the next one, and I lost all my money.
Yeah, we got a bad player.
I'm done.
But blackjack is the way to go. Okay, and then best.
I'd rather buy just shoes.
Best casino. Basically any casino with a $5 table.
Okay, that's a good tip for anyone going to Las Vegas. They won't be going anytime soon because of COVID, but just remember that one. And he's also asked, have you met any celebrities in Vegas?
I feel like you've been closer to them.
Oh no, Emma, like Lisa's friend.
Oh yeah, it's the rapper.
No.
Oh, it's like a very.
Well, he must be that famous.
I mean, he is, but
what's the name?
I mean, I don't listen to rap a whole lot, so I guess.
Like he has a huge block, like like hanging.
Well, yeah, we've met famous-ish people.
I have to know the name.
You remember.
Well, if you remember shout it out, because I'm actually really now quite invested in finding that one out. So I guess we're nearing the end, but Gabby's trying to remember.
Yes. Flavor Flav, right next to our house.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you know him out there, that's pretty cool. Cool. So maybe if you go to Vegas, you'll meet some celebrities.
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
Yeah, if you go to the clubs, you can definitely get close to them. All the DJs, at least.
Okay, that's where we're headed. So I guess we'll just finish it off by maybe asking, Nate's got another good question here. What would you advise a person with no experience in IT to get into the industry? Because we have a lot of our clients at the moment, they're really into IT or getting into the IT industry. So what would be your advice to them?
I mean, ultimately it depends on what you want and how you learn and the kind of person that you are. But I think essentially you should just try to get as much experience as possible building things. If you want to do is software development, I mean, IT itself is more massive, right? It's not just software development. Like you can also be, for example, doing cybersecurity policy, and that would be like at government level. Like that's something that some people do. But I don't know. For me, the path was just try and build as many things as I can. Anything that sparks my imagination and that really drives me, like something that I want to build because I want to build it, or because I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm going to get rich out of it or whatever. Like just try to build it. And if you fail, who cares? You're going to learn.
You can become a millionaire afterwards.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
might as well.
He was looking at a photo and he was like, oh, this is like 10 years ago, I think. He was looking at a photo of his dad. His dad just passed away. And of course, this photo had like this, it looked retro, like it looked old. And then he was like, oh, I wish I had something to make all my pictures look like this. So he created an app. And well, now he has a ton of money. He traveled around the world. He had like his company all around. It was like a simple idea. And I don't think he even was like a programmer or anything. He was just like, oh, how can I make this happen?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I think the key takeaway maybe is just like focus on things that you like or that you're interested in some way, or that you think are going to be useful. Like crypto, all of the crypto space is definitely booming right now. If you want to learn how to write like Solidity contracts or things like that, like that's also like a completely divergent thing, right?
Absolutely. Awesome. And I guess that's good, just general advice to people that are looking for work out there, is just find something that you like into any job. And even if it's out on a whim and send you to Germany, just, take those opportunities. You never know what might come of them, which is, it's really great to hear. It's great to see you guys so successful, because it's good to know that works and to stay resilient in that space. So thank you so much. The last thing, we've got another question, and that's just, can you say something in Mexican, Spanish, for us to wish us all well?
I don't know what to say.
No sé. ¿Qué dirías? ¿Qué dirías?
No sé.
Mexican?
Ajá. Pásatela bien. A la vez. No, que se la pasen muy bien, ¿no?
Yeah.
Que se la pasen muy bien.
Se lo pasen muy bien.
It's like, have a good
Claro
time.
que sí.
Pásenla
Claro que
bien.
sí.
Buena suerte.
Buena suerte, sí.
Sí, buena suerte.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. They're also Spanish. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. And thank you so much for speaking with me today. We've all learned so much, and it's been very inspiring to hear your guys' stories. And we wish you all the best on the rest of your journey. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Awesome. Thanks so much. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye.